But yeah, a little bit of an internet problem there, or connectivity to Rockstar. I had to close the application to get back, so.
I have to issue people. Um, let's see. Vehicles.
Um, yeah, this is yeah. Wish I had that new console. Fucking load into GTA faster. Honestly, I feel like that whole hype about the new console is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. People reselling them for upwards of $1,200. Like, why? When it's
The I'd say the pricing and like people trying to resell for that much is very crazy. I'll give it like the new gen of the controller being a very um advanced item.
well, it's pretty
It's
sophisticated on its own. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
But I feel like the whole, I mean, I feel like it's almost selfish to think that you're trying to resell something that already has a bare minimum $500 price tag for upwards of maybe a grand to 11 to 1200 is kind of just ridiculous in my opinion. I mean, it's just, first of all, you can buy two of those consoles for that kind of money, and now you're gonna go stretch somebody's limb because you want to make profit off of it. So,
it's all about the buyer and the seller, you know?
well, the buyer and the
If
seller,
people
sure.
really want something that badly,
Okay,
it's
but
all
are
about managing your money and understanding what outweighs the cost. Is like, let's say you having to eat ramen noodle cups for the
yep.
rest of the month, really worth buying a PlayStation 5 or Xbox One for or Xbox Series X, whatever it is,
Right.
um, for an entirely higher price. Is it really worth it?
Well, okay. Well, okay, but you personally, you think that it'd be worth that kind of money though, like realistically?
Realistically, none of that stuff is needed. It's all just entertainment and for enjoyment. People don't need to play video games or watch TV or anything. People could just go outside, do whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But it's all how much do you really want it or need it? Because it's all needed. It's not needed, but it just makes everything enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. No, we were just talking about the ridiculous pricing on the new PS5 for people who are trying to resell it for like
Ah,
$1,000.
that's whack. And then you also seen the thing where people are getting like fucking rocks in their in the box and shit. Like they just put something heavy in there,
Well, I wouldn't
and then
doubt it.
So
It's definitely in the
there
picture too.
are
this big
there's
scam.
apparently companies out there, well, like Black Market, obviously, companies that prioritize in seeing which company can steal the most items of whatever is like out there. So at the moment, of course, like on the
Jesus.
top of the list is PS5s, and this one company, they made like a whole like video about it, um, and they've stolen over, I believe it was like 10,000 PS5s.
You can't just steal
And
10,000
like
PS5s without having
from
some
like
kind of some
Amazon or
person watching
eBay
you.
or just all these places,
And
like
then
over
motherfuckers are like,
10,000.
oh, they fell off the truck.
Yeah, they might. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they'll just steal them and then like they'll just like sell them to other people. And of course,
Right.
since it's through the black market, you won't really. It's hard to find a single source.
you can't really
Since
trace
it
that
is
kind of
just multiple
stuff either.
people just stealing like whatever it is.
Stuff on the black market
And
is
these
stuff
companies,
you can't
like,
trace.
it's interesting. Reading about it is like, of course, like whatever is the highest out there, it's like a scoreboard, you know. Whoever has the best items, the best new shoes, like the best new console, you know, whatever, like PS5 or Xbox, whatever you want to choose.
Yep.
And these people are just like doing that shit for fun.
Right.
Like,
right.
yeah, they get their own money out of it from fucking stealing, but they do this shit for fun. It's a whole game system to them.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not the fucking PlayStation and Xbox One series, whatever, it's definitely Pornhub taking off like thousands and thousands of videos and like in one day. You saw that shit on the news? How they took out all those fucking videos off of Pornhub?
That really.
I
that
saw it
really
for myself.
Dude,
So
no,
I
but that's
was on.
upsetting.
I was initially in a time where I was looking on there, for personal purposes, of course.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
I was like, huh, what the fuck is this new safety thing? And I'm just trying to watch some videos. And
The video
of
you're
course
looking
it's
for
like
doesn't fucking
not
show up
working.
because the
Yeah.
poster isn't verified. It's a bunch of
So-
it's
so
a
at
bunch of
first-
anonymous posters that are posting shit like that. And if you go look, like what I first found out because I was on the news, not fucking beating my dick. So basically,
get
it's
to, though. That's the
but
problem.
listen, but it's just I mean, it's understandable on why they did it, but I feel like what they did was like
They fucked up.
unremarkably like. Yeah, they're fucked now. There's no way that they're gonna gain back their presence in the porn industry ever after that
Because-
shit
Yeah,
that they
I
just
feel like
pulled.
I know why
Listen,
they did that
listen.
though, because they want people to pay for the premium so they can see those.
No,
No,
they don't.
artists.
That's not. It's
no,
not
no,
that.
no, no, no,
It's
no.
not
Here's
that
the
at
thing.
all.
Here's the thing.
It's the fact
It's not about the premium. The reason why it's not the premium is because they own practically every other. They're a monopoly. They own every other like porn industry
that. Right.
that
I'm
you
pretty sure they
possibly
own
can
like
think of.
Brazzers and all that shit.
They
That's what
do.
he's-
They have like Brazzers, Reality King, some other fucking
Wow,
nonchalant thing.
you're pretty knowledgeable in this kind of stuff, Gio.
I read a lot. I read a lot of random stuff. So
Right,
this
yeah,
is
I
one
read a
of those
lot too,
random.
nice.
Inform.
Anyway, because you have to read like fucking daily things, and every now and then,
Sure.
like whether it's some fucking news article that relates to work, or just some random item in like fucking science or even porn industry. Like you find the shot, you have to read the fine details. You're not gonna just sign a fucking contract without knowing what the fuck is on there,
Yeah.
you know? And
But
well, I
continue.
mean, in some cases
Continue.
you do.
Continue,
Um,
continue, because you're spanning
anyway-
off at a whole different fucking ballpark right now.
Anyways, their whole industry is based off of ads. All the ads that like are obviously placed
Right,
on
and if
the
you click on those
websites
ads,
is
it leads to their owned websites.
their own websites.
Yeah.
Yes, but even then, all those ads are what makes like the whole porn industry rich, and that's why they have like fucking free accounts. You just need to put in your email or whatever the fuck.
Put in your
And
email,
of course,
put in
like-
your credit card, put in whatever,
Yeah,
like social security
all
number
that-
and shit, some retarded shit,
Yeah, all of
and
that
you'll
stuff.
get like a whole free month for $1.
No, you don't need a.
But I mean, okay, so going back to the topic, the whole reason they did that was because there was claims being filed against Pornhub about
Fuck those complaints,
people.
all those cans.
Wait, shut up! You don't even know what it's for. Be quiet. It's because on Pornhub, if you actually went digging, there was actually apparently a bunch of girls being raped or being unconsensually fucking having sex with. So
Yeah,
they-
nah, I'm not gonna cap. I definitely seen a few videos. I clicked off of because I was uncomfortable. I was like, yo.
Or like
I
girls
don't
getting
even know
groped
about
in
that, man.
voyeur, whatever the fuck it's called, where dudes fucking grope girls on the bus and shit. Mad
I
weird.
like even just recording without them knowing, you know?
Right.
That's easy
That's
to do.
not cool at all.
I'm not saying I've done it, like it's easy to do. Like it's just
Well, I'd imagine all you gotta do is just pull out a camera and have their back turned against you, and easily you could just start fucking recording. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's terrible
tough.
though. You know, and now Pornhub's taking a fucking beating because Mastercard and Visa just pulled their paying services off their website. Now they're scrambling for some kind of fund.
Crazy.
So
yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is.
I'm just gonna have to go to other websites now.
We'll figure out something with that moving forward. They're
Yeah.
probably gonna figure out some type of way of payment through Cash App or like even.
I'm pretty sure Cash App does work because Cash App does have their card and shit or whatever. Cash App, PayPal.
Yeah. Something like that.
All I can
It'll
really
get
say
sorted out.
is now I'm more than likely start just using other websites. It's very
That's
saddening.
good, man. That's good, man. I'm glad you're moving on.
Now I have to actually go out there and fucking meet women. God
Oh
damn,
man,
that's
god damn
horrible.
it, yeah.
Now I
Nice.
have
God
to
forbid, you
interact.
know, just don't. Please. Oh yeah.
And then you also have the fucking. You heard about Joe Biden apparently getting confirmed or some shit for the election now because Trump was trying to.
Yeah.
But I guess Trump's now saying that he's not leaving office, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah, not a single clue what that
No,
was
I
gonna
mean,
go
I
on
feel
there.
like that entire thing. I don't know. I
Civil
mean,
War? Civil
the-
War
Alright,
2.0,
well,
2020?
you could think
What?
whatever you want to think about Donald Trump and Biden, whatever. But everybody gotta agree, and this is not on some fuck shit because of irrelevant opinions, but
Oh.
Kamala is a snake,
sneaky bitch.
straight snake. She knows what she's doing, man. She knows that Biden's gonna get in there, either die or just have too bad of
Too bad
dementia
of a
or
yeah.
being senile to be president. Like
Yeah,
she knew what she was doing when she signed up for that. It's mad dirty, but you never know what she could bring at the same time.
Yeah, no.
If she
And-
could bring something good for people, that's good. I just don't
And you know
like.
what's funny is that people
way
are
she's
people are
going about
parading
it.
around the fact that she's black. She's not black. She's Indian.
She's
She's
still
Indian
brown,
and white. It doesn't matter. You're promoting an image that's not there. See, Barack Obama was an African American. That was the first African American president ever elected. That is something
Right.
you can parade around, not fucking Kamala Harris, dick and balls. Who
He was
fucking-
mixed. He was mixed, but yeah.
well, his mom. I think his mom is Hawaiian. His dad is black. Is what it is. Some shit like that.
His mother was actually from Ohio or some shit like that.
Well, I know he was born in Hawaii. To say,
Hello.
Yeah.
was he born in Hawaii? Some shit like that.
Yeah, he was. His mother was in college over there, and that's where she met his dad.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
Because
no.
I know he ended up going back to Chicago to go and meet
Chicago.
Mitchell Obama.
Yeah. Yo, you saw that picture? You saw that picture of her in the buzz cut, bro? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
back in the day. Yep.
Violated herself.
I mean, listen. Even then, if you really look now, dude, the world's fucking crazy, dude. Even look now. They were just talking about how the U.S. is now gonna start, fucking seeking different ways to respond to Russian and Chinese aggressions, like naval aggressions. Like, I don't know if you've been reading up on that, but Chinese in the Black Sea have been fucking playing a little too fun with the U.S. and now tensions are
How's that?
rising. To say the least, I do feel like some kind of war is going to be struck with the Chinese government because they're. First of all, we just uncovered the fact that they're
What the
testing
fuck?
on humans
That's a
to make super soldiers. That's completely ridiculous, in my opinion.
They added new posters in GTA. It's
Not
naked
knocking,
guy.
not knocking, Chinese billionaires, but they're all kind of fucking stupid. I can't say all because that's not right. But if you've seen a few videos of certain Chinese billionaires and millionaires and shit, you know what I'm talking about. Like that a little interview joint that what is his name? Elon Musk did with the richest man
with the
in
richest
China.
man in China, yeah, I
He
heard
was
about
just
that.
saying some crazy,
Some completely
dumb
unrelated
shit,
shit, yeah.
unbelievably stupid shit. Talking about humans are smarter than computers. Like, okay, bud.
I don't know about
Okay,
that
well,
one.
hold on. That's something to argue with because
What do you
Human-made
what
computer,
kind of
but-
algorithms can
okay.
you do in 2 seconds? Like,
But listen,
that-
'cause
1 + 1 is
the
2.
the algorithm was designed by a human, was thought about by a human.
yeah, but that took years and years,
But-
and it took 2
Okay,
seconds
but
for
the response
computer to
capability of
recognize
a
that.
computer is easily going to be more faster than a
So
human.
you gotta.
But to say that
you're
humans are
saying
not
that
smarter than
humans are
computers
not-
is kind of false.
Okay, so what if you just took the average Joe and you took the smartest computer in the world and put them up against each other? Who's
Okay,
gonna
but
win? Who's
that's
gonna
not
lose?
fair. But here's the reason why that's not fair.
Do
is
you
'cause
want to? Why is it not fair?
because you're pairing somebody who doesn't dump their time into education. You have to understand the fact that these computers were made by people who have spent years and years in education and ergonomics and
No, he's
and,
saying
and,
if someone
and,
on equal playing fields, like the smartest human that we know, that is a mathematician, versus a computer.
It's got to be a
computer is
mathematician,
gonna win.
a scientist, a historian,
Okay,
and a
but
philosopher.
think about who was the person that invented the computer, that thought about the algorithms that we use today to go on to simple websites.
That doesn't
Yes, and
make
think
him
of
the smartest,
if you
or
compare
him or
the
her the smartest.
Right,
That
but now,
doesn't-
but why are you going to
if you
compare it to
compare the amount
somebody
of
that
time-
doesn't have an equal or lesser intelligence rating than a computer? You're obviously going to know that the
so we
algorithm
do it-
created was
so
made
we
by
already
somebody
do
who was
this
smart.
now. We already do
That's-
this now. So your iPhone, the one in your pocket, probably most likely right now, everybody is 100% smarter than you in every single way. You know, if
People
you're the
don't go-
average Joe, like if you're like me or you, like your iPhone has more information and can do algorithms way faster, like than you can. I'm just saying, like if the richest man in China is talking about, oh, like computers ain't smart, you know, humans are smarter.
Computers are smart, but you have to remember that
he's not really qualified to say anything about that, because in what he said in itself is kind of stupid. Like he couldn't do what a computer can do with his mind. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody can do that. If you're just like me or you know what I'm saying? So to say that, you know, humans are smarter than computers, you're making a generalization that is untrue.
well,
you know
okay,
what I'm saying?
well, the reason I combat that is because you're trying to make it seem like people who aren't smart or don't have the capability of having the same knowledge as of a computer. Because what the computer, think about how the computer was made. The computer was made with what, algorithms, right? Those algorithms were originally created and written by humans. Humans were the ones that foreseeably invented the computer. So, but I mean,
But can a computer create itself? Yes, it can.
it can, and
but
here's
humans
why.
created it.
But the
the
reason
first
we know most of what we know now is due to the technology that we have. We
well,
wouldn't
the
know
technology
half
that
the
we
things know
created,
now
we
if-
created
yeah,
that technology, is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
we did. But
But
what I'm
also,
saying
but
is,
it's not to
Then
say
we'll put it
that.
like this, we'll
we
put it
would
like
never
this.
know without
But
that.
listen,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
it's not also to say that our technology can't defeat us, because it's very well possible. I mean, look at it.
Okay, we'll put it
You can
on
create
an
a.
equal playing field then. Okay, once we reach a point in time in life, if it does get to this, where computers are considered to be, let's say, another form of life.
Okay.
Because whether, like, if they create their own, like, thoughts, their own process, feelings, or whatever, if they ever get to that point. in
Sure,
life.
if they ever begin to make.
More than likely,
Right. Okay, I know what you're saying.
more than probable, a computer would have a higher sense of intelligence than a human. If we were to put them on equal playing field,
Right, but
which of
that's to
course
say that
will
if we were to
be
create if we
plenty.
as humans were to create a software for the computer that would allow the computer to be able to understand the feelings, emotions, and be able to create its own thoughts because you have to think of, thoughts come out of nowhere. Thoughts are created, and they're created
Yes.
in our minds. But if you really think about it, these thoughts come from simple blank spaces of absolutely nothing. I don't even want to get into what nothing is, because that's a whole different topic, but I mean, you also have to understand that we're bringing stuff up out of the, like, us humans are in charge of making all the shit that we use today. That iPhone that you have in your pocket, the fucking computer that you use to get on to go to online school, dude, even the shit that we use in our cars, bro, is all electronic, is all the technology that we've made over the past century. Dated back all the way to when the person made the first code for the first computer.
Yeah, but now
But
we're just
are
talking
you
about,
aware,
we're
though?
talking about technology versus computer. I'm talking about computer.
Well, technology,
That's-
computer is a
we're-
type
we're
of
getting-
technology.
We in a whole different discussion, though. We were talking about China and Russia.
Well, you're trying to make I'm referring to what you're saying as in the fact that yes, computers can become smarter than us, but you also have to remember that, you know, he has a point, but it also is not entirely true. And like you said, he doesn't really have that he doesn't really have a say in that kind of conversation, because
If
he has
you
no
were-
clue what
if-
he's talking about.
At our age right now, do you think you could learn as much a computer already knows, and how would you learn that?
I understand.
computer-
Again, I understand your argument, but what I'm saying is that we created a piece of technology that has the capabilities of defeating us and being better than us. But it took a human to make that. So you can say that a computer can be as smarter than everybody else here, such as the Google search engine. That's smart. That's probably one of the smartest fucking pieces of technology that we know to man. It searches everything within 0.1 of a fucking second. I understand that, but man was one that made that, not computer. Computer can make technology, but man was the one that wrote the code for that computer to work, is what I'm saying.
Man did create global
But
warming.
over time, it would take a computer to do a lot of the shit that we can't do now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
the
I
computers
completely
that-
understand what you're saying.
computers are made like a long ass time ago, like in the fucking 50s or 40s and shit. Like the government had computers before we did. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
And not to go back to that Russian
And,
and Chinese conflict, I mean, that whole making super soldiers is completely... That goes against the shit that we fought for back in the 40s and World War II, where you had Hitler literally pulling apart... He was literally writing down experiments such as how much force does it take to rip off somebody's fucking arm? Or how much twisting force do you need to twist off somebody's head? Some stupid shit like that. That's why a lot of the
Yeah.
science that we know in books, a lot of the science that was written down by Hitler is not recorded in science books today because it was against the Geneva Convention.
I don't even think any of it was recorded. I think that was all destroyed. They claim it was destroyed, but it might not be. It might still be out
Well,
there.
at one
Somebody
point in
might
time,
be
it was
sick
being
fuck
recorded
right now.
and it was being stored somewhere for further experimentation on humans, because that's what Hitler was doing: experimentation on the Jewish community, the Jewish population.
I
But
mean, Albert Einstein, he wanted his brain to be destroyed. However, some guy was like, we need to save this shit. And eventually, after about like 40, 50 years of it being lost in time, well, actually, not even that long. It was like 15 years or whatever. Lost in time. Eventually, the guy gave it to other scientists. He got arrested, of course, but he was already like about to die. And they basically said, fuck the will of Albert Einstein. And that's where scientists have his brain still today, you know?
well, now let's dig deeper. I mean, we've already talked about China, and you're talking about Albert Einstein, who was German, came from Germany, right? Russia has had a part in this forever too, because you also have to remember Russia at the time in the 40s made the most powerful nuclear device that the world has ever seen. Not even in the 40s, more like 50s and 60s during the Cold War. But I mean, the Russians also had to play in this shit too, because now they're testing their bombs. Matter of fact, they tested their bombs. Let me go on Google Maps so I can get the name correctly, because I'm gonna butcher the shit out of the name. So, just for a size comparison, they went and tested their biggest nuclear bomb all the way in an island off of the shore of Russia, which was called... It's right outside of... it's north of Russia, towards kind of like the North Pole almost. And they tested it on the island. The flash was seen all the way into the mainland. And you were able to feel the heat from that explosion all the way onto the mainland. Mind you, this island is a good 100, 200 miles away. So imagine that. You're able to see a nuclear flash from a nuclear device being detonated from upwards of 200 miles away. You could feel the tremors and you could feel the shockwave up to about 300 to 400. That is fucking ridiculous.
And when was that recorded?
This was recorded back when they were doing when they were doing testing in the 50s.
And that's just the 50s. Imagine what
Imagine what they have now. Oh my god.
They do have. I don't know when the last hydrogen bomb was set off or whatever bomb was set off, but they gotta have some recordings from that. What's that looking like?
Nuclear devices have not been detonated in the in today's times, besides North Korea testing their nuclear devices unlawfully. Because, well, technically North Korea isn't part of the United Nations, so they... First of all, the United Nations rejected North Koreans, and everybody looks down on North Korea per se. Although, if you look back into North Korean's history, you will find that Soviet Union took over North Korea, left them a stash of cash of guns, and said, "Here, defend yourself." And that's why during the Korean War, the Soviet Union was funding the North Koreans during that war. That entire war, the Soviet Union was funding them weapons and fucking money and whatever. Because the Soviet
It had
Union
to
just
be in
wanted to have
exchange for
control over that.
something.
Well, that's because the Soviet Union just wanted to control their land. Wish they did. But, and then, I mean, Russia today is still pretty scary, dude. If we were ended up to go into a big-ass brawl, I mean, it would turn into World War III. Actually, like an actual world war would break out.
Yeah. You know, it sucks because, you know, the people who live prosperously on this planet, or whatever the fuck that word is, don't worry about that. Whoever just lives peacefully, whatever on this planet, you know, doesn't have a say in that. Like, we're talking about nuclear warfare, shit that wipes out like entire countries.
Yeah, no.
Like, and we're talking about, you know, your whole family right now. Like, we're talking
Right.
about your whole neighborhood getting bombed, like, and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked up. Fucked up shit. It's real sick shit.
And I mean, the last time we've ever been even near DEF CON 1 was a couple years ago, was when we were at DEF CON 2 because of the Russian interaction with the UK. When it was that so when it was, oh my god, all I remember was that there was like Russian MiGs flying all over the UK. Fucking shit was going off the walls, sirens were going off, and people were getting ready to just really face that kind of thing, that fucking, because it's a bit, literally, if you look at a nuclear bomb, you're making a man-made fucking sun, because that, if you, like, the excruciating heat from that
not really.
blast
It's like
ridiculous.
1% of the sun's power.
Well,
If you
to
look it
even,
up, it's like 3% of the sun power, actually.
right, but think about that. The fact that we were even able to
ridiculous, though.
create that as mankind is completely preposterous.
I wouldn't say that because we've always had these materials, you know, this shit is on Earth, you know. We're just figuring out how to use it.
How to use it, exactly, right.
We were already given the materials and shit.
And the sad part is that nobody, like, if you walk up to one of your friends and you ask them, hey, in the event of a nuclear attack, what are you gonna do? Nobody's gonna know what to do, dude. Nobody knows the nearest fallout shelter. Nobody knows that if you see if you can see the flash, you
You're
will
dead.
go blind. If you can actually see the flash, and if you can see a mushroom cloud in a flash, then you're cooked. Because let me tell you something. Thank God I've never experienced a nuclear blast in my entire life. But it has been said that if a nuclear bomb goes off in your city and you're sitting in your room, your fucking room will look like it just turned daytime. Whether it was at night or whether it was it'll look like a fucking sunny day out, 12 p.m. noon, fucking.
There's it's crazy. It's crazy shit like that. There's pictures of people in Japan, what they look like after the blast. A fucking kid got melted to a bicycle. Like,
Yeah.
the bicycle didn't melt on the kid. The fucking kid melted to the bicycle.
Or have
And
you
he
ever
got,
seen
like,
those pictures of people's shadows being left behind? Because
yeah,
your body
that's-
is literally
that's-
disintegrated.
Yeah, it just get destroyed.
Like your
Yeah,
body,
it's-
I won't even say this. Your body vaporizes. From that kind of energy output, your body is gonna vaporize. If you're within that, if you're anywhere within maybe 10 to 50 miles in that blast radius, you're gonna vaporize immediately.
Imagine being right next to it. Imagine being fucking, 50? How far does it blow up before it hits the ground? 100 feet or some shit like that? 50 feet?
Yeah, about 100 to 50 feet above the ground before it detonates.
Yeah,
'Cause
imagine being right under this shit. You're gone.
well, you wouldn't even be able to feel it. All you just see is just a bright light, and you'll be at fucking God's doorstep asking for, forgiveness of your sins. You wouldn't even,
Shit.
dude. That explosion would happen so fast, you wouldn't even have time to pray, bro.
What? You would have time to process what the fuck just happened. Like,
Yeah,
it
no.
just- your brain, you know, when you die, there's about 10 minutes, 7 minutes of brain activity.
Yeah, before
don't even get
brain
that.
and nerve activity before you actually are declared deceased.
Yeah. You don't even get that. It's just like gone,
Yeah,
like
it's
on,
lights
off
out.
switch. Crazy. Wild shit.
Yeah. World's fucking crazy.
What are you gonna do at that point?
Yeah, we're fucking bonkers. And then they have us doing fucking. They have the nation's kids doing online school too. Then they're wondering why the kids are failing online school. When clearly the reason that they're failing online school is because half of these kids don't fucking pay attention.
On
Do
their
you
phone
really
playing the game.
exactly playing the game on the phone? Do you really think that if you left a kid in his house in the comfort of his own room that he's actually gonna fucking pay attention to whatever you gotta say? Unless you're an intriguing teacher and you actually give a fuck about your job, okay? Then you know people are not gonna listen to you because they want somebody that's gonna put in the effort that is actually determined to help you, you know, to help you win, to help you learn.
Yeah, and now, you know, it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you fail all your classes? You're gonna go to summer school, right? You think people are gonna sit there during their summertime, right?
Right.
To,
Well, kids are playing outside, enjoying their
to
life.
do their fucking to do their summer school? No, definitely 100% not. A lot of people are dropping out, you know, getting jobs and shit. A lot of people are doing this shit. It sucks to say, but sometimes it's their best option. You know, it might not, you know, seem appealing, but it sure looks a lot fucking better compared to like what's going on in school right now. Like if some of y'all aren't even in school right now, and y'all have no idea what's going on with all that, you know, just ask like, you know, your nephew's a niece, or you know, is a youngster, you know, up the block from you, whatever you want to, you know, ask him, what
Ask
do you
him
do in
about his
online
school. Yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh, so we sit there and the teacher talks, and
Then they assign 10,000 assignments and expect them to get done the next day. And here,
Right.
listen, let me go into a rant on that real quick because
kids are stressing.
here's the problem: is that these teachers are under the superstition that because we're at home, or because, and I'm speaking we as in children, or across the country, whether you're a teenager, whether whatever, that these kids have nothing else to do but be on that computer all day. And that kind of ideology, being pressed against, you know, kids across America is honestly almost ignorant, to be honest. Because
And on top of that, the school system already don't teach you how to get a job, how to fill out an application, how to pay your taxes, how to be a productive working member of society without making you do homework and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't teach you how to do your fucking your fucking laundry and shit like that. You know, they don't teach you none of that shit. So if you're on the computer all day and that's all you know, for some of these kids, you know, that are in kindergarten doing this shit right now, like what is gonna happen to them when they're older? Like what are they gonna do? You know, they're gonna have no drive, no ambition. All they know is computer, assignments, go to sleep. Like, you know,
right.
it's sad. You know,
Yeah, and then now you have kids that are stressed that they can't get the shit done, and they're staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning trying to get their stuff passed in.
I saw a thing on the news. You know, it's really weighing down on the kids because you know when you're at
How's the internet?
No, I'm back.
So I'm trying not. Oh, what? Is he there?
I am, but Max isn't. Mine cut out for a second.
goes the live stream.
No,
I'm still
well, it
here.
says that your thing left, but
I know, I
Okay.
lagged out of the session. I'm joining back, hold on.
well, you're not even in my session. Neither of you are.
I'll join in. So. All right.
Oh, y'all can
But
join me
back
in a
to
minute
it.
session by myself. But yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah.
that whole principle on happily obstruct that with, oh, you gotta do all these assignments, you gotta do this and that. Oh boy, here we go. Jesus. Stupid ass fucking